Ladies and gentlemen, a new version of Minecraft is out, version 1.18.2. My name is SlySlime, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the changes to the gameplay, and we'll be following that up with a technical news video later on, because there's plenty of those changes to talk about as well. Anyway, let's get into things with the changes to gameplay. A number of fixes have been made for bugs related to falling, where even if you fell into or through a block that resets falling, you sometimes still took damage. This also applied when flying through water. A bug has been fixed with the knockback resistance effect. Previously, 50% knockback resistance would both mean a 50% reduction of the effect and a 50% chance of getting no knockback at all. In this version, it now only means 50% less knockback. When jumping up a diagonal, you will now move along the diagonal properly, where you would previously turn towards one of the directions. Suffocation now properly tests the entire collision of the head rather than just the center point. And a few block fixes. Pointed dripstone could drip through certain blocks to form stalagmites below them. That is fixed in this version. And blocks diagonally above bookshelves in an enchanting setup could be seen as blocking the line of sight to those bookshelves, which is now also fixed. In multiplayer, the view angle of the player in a boat no longer resets to directly forwards when a passenger gets in, and a number of fixes have been made for cases where the game would kick players for flying even though they weren't actually cheating. Let's move on to mob news. Glow squid spawning has been changed to require a light level of 0. And tropical fish now only spawn if there's a full block of water above their spawning position, so they will no longer spawn in single water streams or bubble columns. Speaking of spawning, raid waves for a raid now only spawn within the simulation distance of the game to prevent raid mobs from being stuck outside of the simulated area. Structures that have a certain set of mobs spawning within them now spawn that type of mob even on super flat worlds, which previously didn't work. A number of fixes have been made for bugs with passive mob behavior. Foxes now understand powdered snow and will no longer go to sleep in it while freezing to death. Baby turtles no longer suffocate if they end up on soul sand. And parrots now dismount if you use a trident enchanted with Riptide, which means you're less likely to accidentally kill them. We have plenty of more changes to talk about with world generation and visuals coming up, but before we get into that, let me take a moment to ask you to trident that like button. Liking the video helps get it spread further by the YouTube algorithm, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's talk world generation. If you use the seed 0, that would previously be interpreted as a string of text containing the number 0 rather than the actual number 0 itself, which is different. That has now been changed, so the world for seed 0 is now different. In other seed-related news, any spaces at the start or end of the seed you type in the UI box are now removed, so copy-pasting a seed no longer runs the risk of accidentally getting a different one with a space at the beginning. For the actual worlds, deserts now have more sandstone, reaching deeper under the surface. A number of problems have been fixed with cave generation, including fixes for mineshaft pillars that didn't work well together with dripstone. Another problem in world generation was that sometimes light from blocks generated in world generation, like glowberries and glow lichen, got stuck at chunk borders, which is fixed in this version. And let's wrap up this section with some fixes to superflat worlds, where the water world preset now has 64 layers of deep slate added, so monuments no longer generate above the surface. And the redstone-ready superflat world now has 64 more layers of sandstone to avoid having slimes spawn there. In visual changes, ender chests are no longer gift-wrapped around Christmas. They would previously look identical to regular chests, making it hard to distinguish. Some bugs with water rendering that have been present in the game for a long time have also been fixed in this version, so water will no longer look like it's flowing upwards in certain situations. When flying directly upwards with fireworks rockets, you got white particles flashing across the center of your screen. This is now fixed, so the particles appear from the rocket in your hand instead. Let's talk about user interface news. If you're playing the game on a 32-bit operating system or using a 32-bit Java executable, you will now see a warning message in the main menu that 32-bit support will be removed in some future version of the game. There's a new language added, the Friolian language. And speaking of languages, the biome selection list when creating a single biome world now sorts better when the game is running in a different language than English. You can now double-click to join realms, just like you can to join multiplayer servers or to open single-player worlds. A couple of fixes have been made for problems where you couldn't highlight options using the tab button, and the F3 screen now shows the name of the region file the chunk you are in belongs to. Finally, there's also a health and safety improvement in the game related to a new law in South Korea. If your computer is set to the South Korean locale, you will now get a notice every hour. The message in English is "You've been playing for X hours," or "You've been playing for greater than 24 hours" if that is the case. This is followed by "Excessive gaming may interfere with normal daily life." Let's wrap this up with some changes to performance and stability. A number of crashes have been fixed, and a problem where entities would show up despite the chunk they're in not being there yet has been sorted out. In Minecraft 1.18, a change was made to save chunks more often. Turns out they sometimes saved too often, so chunks will now only save at most every 10 seconds. And that's it for this version. We'll also have a video up about the technical changes soon. If you're interested in what else is changing in the game, also check out this video.